Good day everyone, we are the group 4 from A1G11 GAS 04 and today we'll tackle two modules, Module 21 and Module 22. First, we'll tackle about Module 21 titled Collaborative Development of ICT Content.
Lesson objective. At the end of the module, students will be able to, number 1, utilize team structure and dynamics for ICT content. Number 2, use Google Docs to collaborate among members of the team. Number 3, form group to the work and implement the web design principles.
A team is different from a group. A group can achieve its common goal through independent individual contributions. Real-time coordination of tasks between individuals is not required. A team, however, consists of 2 or more people who interact dynamically, interdependently, and adaptively toward a common and valued goal, have specific roles or functions, and have a time-limited membership. During the temporal life of a team, the team's mission is a greater value than the goals of the individual members.
Okay, based on what Ms. Krisha has read, can I call Ms. Jempo to share any ideas or what she has learned from the text?
A group achieves its goal through independent individuals' contribution, whereas a team works interdependently towards a common goal, prioritizing the team's mission over individual objectives. In a team, members have specific roles, interact dynamically, and rely on each other to achieve their shared goal.
Very good, Miss Jempo hit all the main points. Now let's move on to team structure. What is team structure? We wonder. Well, team structure is basically how a group is organized so everyone knows their role, what they're supposed to do, and how they work together to reach the same goal. It's like having a clear plan so the team doesn't get confused and can actually work smoothly as one. Now, based from what I've read, can I call Ms. Waga to share her ideas about what is team structure?
From what I read, I understood that team structure is how a group is arranged so that each member clearly understands their role, responsibilities, and how they should coordinate with others. It sets out who does what, who reports to whom, and how decisions are made. When a team has a clear structure, tasks are divided properly, communication flows more smoothly, and everyone works toward the same goal without confusion. It's like a roadmap that guides the team's actions and helps them succeed. For example, school project group. One student is assigned as the leader, organizes tasks and deadlines. Another handles research. Someone else creates the presentation, and another prepares the visuals. Because roles are clear, the group can finish the project on time. That's all.
Very good. Ms. Waga truly understood what team structure means. Now let's move on to the next concept, which is how do we describe a team member?
Number 1. Include anyone involved in the process of project's development who can take actions, including the leader. Number 2. Have clear defined roles and responsibilities. Number 3. Are accountable to the team for their actions. Number 4. Must stay continuously informed for effective team functioning.
Based on what Mr. Kian has read on how we describe a team member, can Mr. Pinaso share what he has understood?
Have you ever wondered what a team leader is? Based on what I have learned, a team member is anyone involved in project development, including the leader, who takes action with clearly defined rules and responsibilities, remains accountable for their actions, and stays continuously informed for effective team functioning. For example, in our App 001 group project, I made sure to complete my assigned research tasks on time, regularly updated my team on my progress, and supported others when they needed help, which helped our group stay organized and meet deadlines efficiently. That's all.
Very good, Mr. Pinaso. Mr. Pinaso truly understood how we describe a team member. Now let's move on to the team structures for ICT content development. The team structure for ICT content development consists of 5 ideas, which is the project manager, data analyst, content writer and editor, web designer, and developer. We'll tackle each one with the following.
Project manager, the team leader. They are the person responsible for managing the team members, manage the project, monitors the project, develop progress, and ensure the project completion according to a green timeline.
Data and analysis, a team member responsible for gathering accurate and relevant information for ICT content.
Content writer and editor, a person responsible to summarizing the data collected by the data analyst and finalize a complete set of information to be integrated to the website.
Web designer, a person who is responsible for implementing the website design as agreed among members of the team.
And lastly, developer. Developer is a person who technically develops the overall functionality of the system. Now, based on what we have read, can I call Mr. Torres to share what he have understood and what are his ideas about the five concepts of
Project manager. My idea about the project manager is that this role is very important because that every team needs a leader. The project manager makes sure that the group is organized, the tasks are divided properly, and the deadlines are followed. For example, if you are making a school website, the project manager will be the one to plan the schedule, assign roles, and guide the team until the website is completed. Number 2, data analysis. My idea about the data analysis is that this role is needed to collect and study information so the project will be correct and useful. Without the data analysis, the team might use the wrong data. For example, if the team is creating an online learning platform, the data analyst will check what subject students need most or what features are helpful for teachers and learners. Number 3, content writer and editor. My idea about the content writer is that this role makes the information clear, organized, and easy to understand for users. If the data analyst gather information, the content writer change it into lessons, articles, or instructions. For example, in an e-learning website, the content writer will prepare lessons, quizzes, and activities that are ready to upload for students. Number 4, web designer. My idea about the web designer is that this role is important to make the website or system look attractive and easy to use. Even if the content is good, people might not like the website if the design is messy. For example, in a school website, the web designer will arrange the menu and add school logo and make the site colorful, but still simple for students and parents. And lastly, developer. My idea about the developer is that this role is needed to actually build the system and make it work. The developer uses programming and coding to turn the web designer's layout into a working website or system. For example, The designer makes the homepage the developer programs button so that when you click, it goes to the right page.
Very good. Mrs. Torres explained each team structure for ICT content development perfectly. Now let's go back to all the concepts we have discussed in Module 21, which is the definition of team structure, the difference between group and team, how we describe a team member, and the team structure for ICT content development, which are the project manager, data analyst, content writer and editor, web designer, and developer. Now that we have tackled all the concepts in Module 21, let's move on to Module 22, which is titled Maintaining Proper Communication for Project Management of ICT Content through Google Hangouts.
Lesson and objectives. At the end of the module, the student will be able to, number 1, identify the tool that can be used by the team members to maintain continuously in communication. Number 2, use Google Hangouts to practice proper communication.
Now, have you ever wondered what is communication? Well, effective communication, guided by the project manager, is essential for keeping a project on track. The communication plan, including methods and frequency, should be tailored to the specific needs and purpose of the project. Now, can I call Miss Ashley Nicole to explain her ideas and what she has understood by what I've read?
I think communication is the exchange of information and ideas that keeps a project organized and on track. It involves sharing updates, clarifying tasks, and giving feedback so that everyone understands their responsibilities. In project management, good communication ensures that all aspects of the project are properly coordinated and meet the team's goals and needs. That's all. Thank you.
Very good, Miss Ashley Nicole. Right on track. Now let's move on to the common electronic communication medias, which are the email, chat, and video call and text message.
Email, a digital message sent through the internet, often used for formal or professional communication, but also for personal exchanges.
Chat and video call, real-time communication tools that allows instant messaging and face-to-face virtual interaction, making conversations faster and more personal.
A text messaging, a short written message sent through mobile phones and mainly for quick and direct communication.
So in conclusion, the common electronic communication mode in medias are the email, chat, and the video call and text messaging. Now let's call in Miss Ashley Daniel to explain what she has understood and what she has learned about the common electronic communication mode in medias.
I think electronic communication modes and media simply mean the way we use technology to talk and share information. The modes are the channels we choose, like email, chat, or video call. Well, the media are the form the message takes, like text, voice, image, or video. What I understand is that these tools make communication faster and more convenient, whether for school, work, or personal use. Choosing the right mode and media depends on the situation. For example, email for formal messages, chat for quick updates, and video calls for face-to-face discussion online. That's all. Thank you.
Very good, Miss Daniel. Now let's go to our next concept, which is purpose of communication. Can anyone here read the images read the slides and share what they have understood. Miss Cerilia, can you please read?
These are the purpose of communication. First is, communication is not only giving instruction, but also being in touch with the real challenges of the project, understanding the real issues within the team and sponsor. For example, instead of assigning tasks, the project leader asks team members if they are struggling with the internet connection or lack of resources, then helps them find solution. Second is being present. Visible and engaged is important in both good and the hard times. Example, during a successful project presentation, the leader congratulates the team. During delays, the same leader stays with the team, listens to frustration, and encourages them to keep going. Thirdly, communication is not only speaking and listening, but understanding the complete message. Another example, a teammate says they can finish the task soon, and the leader clarifies the exact deadlines to avoid misunderstanding. Lastly is responsibilities. Each member must give time for communication and collaboration to reach project goals. Example, team members regularly attend weekly check-ins on Zoom, share updates, and coordinate tasks instead of working alone. That's all. Thank you.
Very good, Miss Cerilia. Now, we must remember that the purpose of communication is that it's not only talking to the troops and telling them what you expect of them, but also being in touch with the real challenges of the projects and understanding the real issues within the team. It is also important to be present, visible, and engaged with everyone. And communication is not only about speaking to and hearing from people, but understanding the message and responsibilities, and each team members have responsibilities. They should be responsible for the time for communication and collaboration when required by the team leader. That is the concept of the purpose of communication. Now let's go to our last concept, which is the steps for proper communication. Now let's move on to our last concept, which is the steps for proper communication. Here are the 5 steps for proper communication. Number 1 is planning, which you must set a clear guide on how the team will communicate. Number 2 is that you must know your audience. You must understand who needs the message and tailor it to their role. Number 3 is that share needed information. You must only give the details that matter to avoid confusion. And number 4, choose the right media. You must use the best tool like chats, calls, or emails. And lastly, set the right timing. Agree on when to talk so everyone can participate. From what I've read, I'll call Mr. Pinaso to share what he has understood and what is his ideas based on the 5 steps for proper communication.
Tips for proper communication that guide a team to stay connected and work smoothly together. By following them, misunderstandings are avoided and teamwork becomes more effective. 5 tips for proper communication. Number 1. Plan. Set clear guide on how the team will communicate. So before communicating, plan what you want to say. Think about your purpose, key points, and the best way to deliver your message. Example, a project manager needs to inform the team about the deadlines change. In this example, they plan the message carefully to avoid confusion and focus on the new schedule. Number 2, know your audience, understand who needs the message and tailor it to the role. So you need to understand who you are communicating with, their role, knowledge, and needs. tailor your message to its clear and relevant. Example, explaining a technical issue to a group engineers requires detailed data. But for clients, you focus on simple and clear expectation. Number 3, share needed information. Give only the details that matter to avoid confusion. Only you need to do is provide the information that your audience needs. Avoid overloading them with unnecessary details. Example, a team leader updates members only on tasks they are responsible for, instead of giving them the whole company report. Number 4, choose the right media. Use the best tool like chats, calls, or emails. You must pick the most effective way to send your message based on urgency and complexity. Example, sending a detailed report via email works, but urgent safety instructions should be delivered face-to-face or via call. And lastly, number 5, set the ring timing. Agree on when to talk so everyone can participate. Communicate at the best time so your message is received and act upon effectively. Avoid bad timing that could cause misunderstandings, like for example, announcing a change in schedule early and the day allows the team to adjust. Sending it late at night may cause confusion. So these are the steps for proper communication that guide a team to stay connected and work smoothly together. So these are the 5 steps. That's all. Thank you.
Very good, Mr. Pinaso. That's right. Now, if we go back to all the concepts we have tackled, we learned what is communication, what are the common electronic communication mode in media, which is the email, chat, and video call, and text messaging, the purpose of communication, and the steps for proper communication, which is planning, knowing your audience, sharing the needed information, choose the right media, and set the right timing. We have completely discussed all the concepts from Module 21 to Module 22. That is all. That is the end of our discussion. Once again, we are the Groups 4 from A1, G11, GAS 04, and thank you for listening.